All right, we're going to find out what's going on behind the wall here. See how they mounted and see what the spray foam looks like. Here we go. I have some thinking to do. Going on. It's interesting how come they brought it away from the wall. See the difference? I have some thinking to do. What, the fabricators get lazy? Okay, so I've come to a critical point in my build where I have to make a kind of an important decision. This wall, the way they did it, is different than this wall. I think it's going to be best if I pull this panel before I do the cutout template for my floor. I was able to get my phone up in there and put my phone up and take a video so I can see what's going on. As you can see in the video how they mounted the aluminum panel, which I really like the way they did it from what I can see. Kind of excited about the idea of being able to do something different here. That's a lot of space back in there when you look at it from a interior cubic space. I mean, that's going to be my tech wall. It'd be really nice to have that additional 2-inch depth in the build.
Considering taking this out because of the huge gap.
I have some thinking to do. I've been in the same position, so my feet and my knees are hurting at the moment. For those of you that are following along, you already know this, but this was a government vehicle with a custom fabrication. This is an aluminum wall here. I've always known that they kicked this wall out a bit to make it a little bit more easier to deal with, but I didn't realize how much. And on the last video, I kind of figured it out. I believe there's over a 5-inch air gap back here. Let's see. 5.5 inches it's 5.5 inches to the spray foam. That's a huge air gap back here. So I need to pull this panel. So I don't want to knock the fabricators. They did a really exceptional job on this. I'll show you some of the details here. I got to readjust. So as you can see, you know, they did a really good, nice, tight job all the way down. They, you know, kicked out the bottom with a thick aluminum. I think it's like a C-channel aluminum. The same goes for back here. They did a really good job, nice and tight. Everything was nice and tight. And the spray foam, you know, for what they were building, it was appropriate. It's a 1/2 inch to 1 inch on the spray foam. I wish it was a little bit thicker, but I have to deal with what it is. I like the way they did the bracketing and all that, and it made me think about how I'm going to design that wall once I get that panel off. I want to take this out before I do my subfloor. Before I had to pause the video I was working on to do the wall video. So I want to get this done so I get an accurate template. It'll help me out greatly in the future. So here we go. If you're ever in Arizona, check out the biosphere. It's a really cool place. I lived there for 5 months doing research and intensive environmental studies. Just a great place. I have to run an extension cord and then get my air vac and my bucket head. Oh yeah, that's my stage name, Bucket Head. Depending upon the show. I mean, some people call me Dead Nuts, but you know, hey. Hey, if you guys want to watch me turn this van into a kick-ass mobile office and tech this thing out, hit the like and subscribe button. It's actually not that heavy. As you can see, this will be a nice template if I decide to change material or whatever, but let's get this out of the way, show you what's going on. So that aluminum's not that heavy, but it's aluminum. Show you guys what's going on here. So right here, the spray foam isn't too thick. It's thick over here, really thick over in the end over there. I think what I'll end up doing is doing another layer, maybe of thinsulate, and then do a thinsulate and then a vapor barrier over that. But you can see, I mean, they did an exceptional job. I mean, they basically just kicked this wall out so that they can make it easier. They didn't have to cut out around there like they did on the other one. But yeah, so this will give me a chance. I like the idea of what they did. This is really solid. So what I'm thinking, I've been thinking on the lines of something similar, but just cutting it back, like bringing it closer. I mean, that was a 5.5 inch air gap down here. You know, 5.5 inch air gap. So not only am I going to reclaim that under the counter space and a little bit up here, but I'll be able to readjust these mounts and make them more level how I want for upper cabinet mounts. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do here. But yeah, I mean, look at the detail. I mean, they really thought it out. I'll be able to use a bunch of this material. I mean, this is, you know, that's a good 4-inch. I mean, it's really not that secure, but it did the trick for them. And they riveted it through, looks like they riveted it through the floor. So I don't like that. I'm going to address that as well.